Today in History. Today it's June 2nd, and we're going to continue with our journey to the past.
That's right. We have 3 events to share with our listeners today, and we will get to those in just a moment. But first, here is a quiz question for you. A legendary character was raised by apes and dominated the jungle. This character is known as, number 1, Aladdin, or number 2, Tarzan. Question one more time. The legendary character who was raised by apes and dominated the jungle is known as number 1, Aladdin, or number 2, Tarzan. If you know the answer, you can put it on our Bundy board or text in on your cell phone, pounder sharp 1045 for 51, and you could win an eco bag and mug cup.
So like I said briefly before, all these 3 events they happen to be related to TV today. At least 2 of them,
Two of them, right?
Okay,
yeah.
So here's the list.
Today in history. In 1904, Johnny Weissmuller, the most famous Tarzan, was born. In 1953, the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II, the first major international event, was televised. And in 1999, broadcast reached the last TV-free nation. Well, I guess they're all 3 related to television somehow, right?
네, 그러네요. Well, today we remember one of the most memorable and iconic figures of Hollywood's golden era.
Yes, and why don't we let his trademark yell do the talking for him?
네.
I wonder if he came up with that, or if a writer came up with that. You know what I mean?
He was the very first Tarzan we've ever had, right?
That was the original. Yeah, his name was Johnny Weissmuller,
right.
if I'm pronouncing that correctly. He was born on this day, and he's remembered as the Tarzan, I suppose, to have delighted audiences in the 30s and 40s.
네, 지금 보이는 라디오를 통해서 Johnny Weissmuller의 사진을 보여드리고 있습니다. But Weissmuller actually was already an established figure before he hit the big screen.
Yeah, he was a renowned swimmer, actually, having set some of the best swimming records of the 20th century.
네, 아주 유명한 수영 선수로 이미 유명했었다고 하네요. And what's even more, he was Olympic medal winner with 5 gold medals and 1 bronze medal under his belt.
Wow. But swimming had a deeper meaning to Johnny's life, more than just a competitive sport. When he was 9 years old, he contracted polio, and swimming was the means that he chose to fight against the disease.
After his successful swimming career, he started a new path in Hollywood with the signing of a 7-year contract to pay the legendary Ape Man, starting with Tarzan the Ape Man in 1932.
And this was followed by 5 more movies with actress Maureen O'Sullivan as Jane and Cheetah the chimpanzee.
그렇죠. Jane 우리 기억해야죠. 저 chimpanzee. Who's that little boy there? They had a child?
Son, I guess. I assume.
Okay. 네. 또 아들이 있는 줄은 몰랐네. 또 그 사이에 또 하여튼 저 지금 사진 보여드리고 있습니다.
Tarzan Jr.
Tarzan Jr. All right. Now let's go to 1953 when the first major international event was televised to the entire world.
And that event was none other than the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II, who ascended to the throne at the age of 25.
네. 바로 엘리자베스 2세 그 여왕의 대관식을 저희가 또 기억해야겠는데 바로 6월 2일입니다. And that was 1953. No, that was before then, I think.
Yeah, 1953.
Oh, that was?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Although the then Prime Minister Winston Churchill opposed the idea of televising the event, Queen Elizabeth disagreed and insisted that the event take place before TV cameras. Well, here's a short clip or a small clip from the 1953 broadcast.
Her Majesty being now anointed, wearing the colobium cindonis and the supertunica or close pall of cloth of gold, together with a girdle of the same, is seated once more in King Edward's chair.
It's a boring announcer. Watch closely as the queen sits in the king's chair. No.
I was paying more attention to the coronation itself. 하지만 아니 그러면 how was supposed to sound then?
I don't know. It's the Queen of England. Sound excited. Woo!
I think that's more like Canadian or American, you know.
And now the new queen is the queen of the country.
자, 윈스턴 처칠 당시는 이때 이 TV로 이거 대관식을 왜 방송을 해드냐라고 반대를 했었다고 해요. 그러나 엘리자베스 여왕께서는 아니다. 이거 TV 카메라 앞에서 해야 된다라고 주장을 했다고 합니다. Okay, that was 1953.
Now, when we say that this event was televised to the entire world, the statement is, of course, in the general sense, of course, because even in the 20th century, there were countries that didn't have any notion of satellite connection or TV at all.
Right. But it was on this day in 1999 when that changed, when the last country that was TV-free, TV가 없었던 이제 마지막 국가라고 여겨지는 곳이 was finally connected through TV broadcasting as we know it now.
And that country was the landlocked Buddhist kingdom of Bhutan, which resisted the introduction of television, fearing that it could influence negatively its population.
일부러 이제 국민들에게 안 좋은 영향을 끼칠 수 있다라고 해서 일부러 they resisted the introduction of TV.
That's right.
Until that day. Well, as the world was modernizing left and right, Bhutan decided to launch a limited broadcast service to mark the silver jubilee of its king in 1999.
Yeah, interesting, huh?
네.
1999.
1999, that's pretty recent.
It really is, yeah. All right, well, before we finish up things here, I need to give you the answer to the quiz question. The question was, a legendary character who was raised by apes and dominated the jungle is known as number 2, Tarzan. Excellent. Okay, so when we come back, we have a brand new guest in the studio. Paul Kim joins us, and we'll start with today's sports world. First here, I want to do it in the British announcer voice.
Go ahead.
And before we say hello to Paul, we have a song from Rialto, and it's called Untouchable.